What if you could control anyone and they never even realize it? No force, no threats, no loud voice, just quiet influence, so smooth they think it was their own idea. That's not magic, it's dark psychology, used by politicians, con artists, corporate sharks, and now you. But this isn't a game. These tricks cut deep. They change how people think, decide, and obey without ever knowing why. So be careful. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make someone obey you without them even noticing. People like to think they're in control, that they decide, choose, and act on their own terms. That belief, it's your greatest weapon. Let's say you want someone to agree to your plan. Most people make the mistake of asking directly and get rejected. But if you offer them a choice, something strange happens. You're not taking their power. You're giving them a sandbox to play in, but you built the sandbox. Example, don't ask, do you want to hang out? Say, want to hit the beach or grab tacos tonight? Either way, they're already saying yes. This works because the brain loves autonomy, even fake autonomy. When someone thinks they're making the decision, they lower their guard. They don't resist, they commit. Politicians do this in debates. Salespeople use it in pitches. Parents do it with toddlers. You're just doing it with a sharper edge. And the next trick? It makes yes feel like a habit they can't break. Obedience doesn't begin with a command. It begins with small, harmless yeses. The mind doesn't like friction. If someone's been saying yes, they're far more likely to keep saying it, even when the stakes rise. Here's how you play it. You don't ask for what you really want. Not yet. You ask for something so easy, so low resistance, that saying yes feels automatic. Then you ask for something a little bigger. And again, each time, it's a step. Each step is harmless, until the final one isn't, want that promotion? Don't start with, can I get a raise? Start with, can I sit in on this meeting? Then, mind if I help manage this project? Then, can I take the lead on that presentation? By the time you ask for the raise, their brain has already agreed with you 3 times. Backing out now would feel wrong. This trick works because of commitment bias. Once someone starts walking with you, they feel compelled to finish the path, even if they're not sure why they started. It's not about asking more, it's about asking smarter. Train their yes muscle before you make it lift real weight. But what if their yes turns into guilt? That's when you press where it hurts. Logic bends, emotion breaks, and guilt? Guilt is the quiet whip that makes people obey, even when they don't want to. You don't demand, you remind. You don't push, you trigger. Let's say you want a favor, something big. Never say, can I borrow your car? You'll get a hard no. Instead, remember when I covered for you last month? When I spotted you $200, no questions asked? Then pause, let it sink. Look, I wouldn't ask unless I needed it. Now you're not the needy one, you're the loyal one, and they're the one with a debt. Humans hate imbalance. Guilt creates a weight in their mind, and obedience becomes a way to feel lighter. But use this carefully. Too much guilt breeds resentment. The trick is to make them want to restore the balances on their own. Guilt isn't a hammer, it's a scalpel. Use it to make people believe they owe you. But why play with feelings when you can reshape their memories altogether? That's where it gets dangerous. The mind doesn't record, it edits, rewrites, fills in blanks. And that's exactly where you slip in. You don't need someone to agree with you. You just need them to remember things your way. Let's be clear, memory is not a fact, it's a story. And stories? They're easy to rewrite with repetition, emotion, and detail. Imagine this. You weren't the one who saved the project last year, but you keep bringing it up, casually, then confidently. Yeah, remember when I pulled the team through that mess? You mention it again during lunch, then in a team meeting, then in a performance review. Every time, you add more detail, more certainty. Eventually, even the people who were there will start to nod. Yeah, maybe you did. This works because of the illusory truth effect. The more we hear something, especially from someone we trust, the more true it feels. Politicians do this constantly. So do cult leaders. Now, so can you. But remember, once a false memory takes root, it's nearly impossible to undo. So be careful what you rewrite. Because next, you won't have to say anything at all. Silence will do the damage for you. Say nothing, watch everything shift. Silence isn't empty, it's loaded. With discomfort, with tension, with pressure people can't stand. You want someone to confess? Don't ask. Just say, I know what you did. Then shut up. Let the silence burn. Most people panic in silence. They ramble. They reveal. They beg. Why? Because silence feels like judgment. like a verdict hanging in the air. Use it in negotiations. Instead of begging for a better price, say your number, then stop talking. Let the awkward silence hang. Let them fill it with compromise. Use it in arguments, in dates, in job interviews. Silence makes you look calm, confident, untouchable, because the one who speaks less always seems to know more. It's a dominance play without ever raising your voice. And the best part? They won't even realize you're doing it. They'll just feel the weight and fold under it. Silence makes people uncomfortable. That's why it works. But here's what most never realize. You can control a conversation even before it starts. Not with silence, but with a carefully placed decoy. Let's go deeper. Sometimes, the best way to get what you want is to offer something no one would ever choose. Here's how it works. People don't like comparing everything. Too much effort. So instead, they rely on contrast. Let's say you're selling a service. You offer two options. Option A, $100, month, basic features. Option B, $200, month, full features. Most people, they'll hesitate. Too expensive, too uncertain. But add option C, $190, month, fewer features than option B. Now B looks like a bargain. Suddenly, $200 feels smart. Why? Because the decoy made it feel safe. This isn't just about pricing. Want someone to choose the restaurant you like? Offer them two worse options. Want someone to agree to your plan? Throw out a bad plan first, then yours sounds brilliant. You didn't convince them. You manipulated the frame they made the choice in. That's the power of a decoy. You don't push people. You guide them, like blind mice in a maze you designed. But sometimes, you don't need to guide them at all. You just need to make them believe everyone's already watching. Most people live like there's a spotlight on them. They think every move, every word, every mistake, they're all being judged. The truth? No one's watching. But that belief? It's a weakness, and you can use it. Say you want someone to behave a certain way, to apologize, to dress better, to stop interrupting. Don't confront them. Just imply they've already been noticed. I'm surprised you said that in front of everyone. Or, a few people mentioned it, I didn't want to say anything. Now they're panicking, wondering who saw, who talked, how bad was it? The fear of judgment triggers a silent correction loop. They'll fix themselves, just in case. This works because humans crave social acceptance, and the spotlight effect makes them overestimate how much people notice. You don't need proof, just plant the suggestion that someone saw. Their imagination will do the rest. And it's always worse than reality. But if you want to know what they're really hiding, you'll need to make the first move, just not the one they expect. Trust is earned, but control? It's given when you play the game right. The gradual disclosure hack is about leading people into vulnerability by showing just enough of your own. Let's say you want someone to open up, to reveal a weakness, a secret, a motive. Don't ask directly, don't push. Instead, give them a piece of your truth, curated, calculated, and just vulnerable enough. Maybe you say, I used to struggle with confidence. I never told anyone that. Pause, wait, watch. In their mind, the exchange has begun. Now they owe you something. They'll want to match your vulnerability to balance the social scale. So they'll share a little, then you share a little more. Like peeling an onion, layer by layer. Except you're not opening up to heal, you're opening up to unlock them. This hack works because people mirror emotional behavior. You laugh, they laugh. You whisper, they whisper. You confess, they confess. But here's the twist. Your disclosures don't have to be real. They just have to feel real enough to open the door. And once they've told you what they swore they never would, that's when you disappear. Sometimes, the most powerful move is to stop playing. You've built connection, built trust, maybe even desire. And just when they expect more, you disappear. No warning, no closure, just space. That's not weakness, that's strategic withdrawal. Humans crave consistency. When someone vanishes, the brain scrambles for answers. Did I mess up? Was I not enough? What changed? Now you live in their mind rent-free. This isn't ghosting, it's timed absence. You pull back to create tension. You create silence so loud, they can't ignore it. And when you return, if you return with leverage. They miss your attention, your validation, even your judgment. They chase what pulled away. That's biology. Think about every ex who suddenly looked better after they stopped texting. Think about every boss who respected you more once you stopped over-explaining. Distance doesn't create disconnection. It creates demand. And once you've made them crave your presence, you feed them one idea over and over until they believe it was always true. People don't believe what's true. They believe what's familiar. Say something once, it's interesting. Say it twice, it's suspicious. Say it 10 times, and it becomes their belief. That's the illusory truth effect. The brain doesn't fact check, it comfort checks. If it feels familiar, it feels right. This is how propaganda works. This is how advertising works. This is how personal reputations are built or destroyed. You want someone to think you're a leader? Start talking like one, repeatedly, not, I'm trying to be better. Say, I make decisions, I lead, I solve problems. Say it in meetings, say it in passing, say it to yourself. Eventually, they say it when you're not even around. Or flip it, want to ruin someone? Seed a tiny doubt. She's always late, right? Repeat it, again, again. Soon, others will finish the sentence for you. Repetition isn't lazy, it's psychological warfare. And the more subtle it is, the more permanent it becomes. You're not arguing, you're reprogramming. Keep looping the lie long enough, and even they'll forget it wasn't true to begin with. You don't control people by force. You control them by making them feel like it was their choice. And once you see how easy it is, it gets harder to unsee. But here's the part most people miss. Power isn't loud, it doesn't beg, it doesn't ask for approval. It just is. So use these tricks, not to play games, but to stop being the one who gets played. Because at some point, you have to decide. Do you want to be liked, or do you want to be in control? And remember this, you don't win someone back by waiting, you win by never needing them again. If this felt powerful, wait until you learn how crowds obey without ever knowing who's pulling the strings.